Hey everybody, Tony George, Nick Menken right there from DocSports.com. Are you watching the entire show? Because we're 12-4 our last 16 picks. Our producer Lenny just told us. Because, Lenny's a little bit of a degenerate. He likes to bet everything we're putting out. He likes them freebies. So nonetheless, stay tuned. We got 6 props for you in my case, Saturday and Sunday in the NFL. Big weekend, bowl games, playoffs, and college. Western Michigan up 27-0, going in for another one right now, laying the 3 on Friday. There's nothing better, Nick, than doing a show and watching a winning bet on TV at the same time.
That's what you're doing. And if you're not tapping in, I don't know what you're doing, because we're giving you guys winners week in and week out here on the Prop Madness Show. And I told you last week we went right back to Tua, and we covered by a hook, folks. We had him 28.5. He finished with 28 passing attempts there back-to-back weeks. Tony, we're rolling on the Prop Show. How you feeling here on a Friday?
I'm feeling good, and I'm going to go right to a quarterback prop.
Let's do it.
There's a huge game between Carolina and Tampa Bay. This is a big game. Tampa Bay has been on the schneid for about 5 weeks now. They just haven't been the same team that they were coming out of the gate. And this is the type of moment where Baker Mayfield steps up. This is Baker time. And guess what? Here's the good news for Baker. You got Cade Otton coming back this week. His crutch for a tight end. You got Evans, Godwin, Igabuka, McMillan, all healthy. All healthy. The receiving unit is all healthy. Bucky Irvin out of the backfield catching some balls along with White. His total in this game. This is a must-win game. This is a kitchen sink game for both teams. I'm not saying that Carolina's not without merit. However, at home, you always got to be wary of them. The line is 3 in this game. But the bottom line is over 228.5 passing yards for Baker Mayfield, minus 115 here. And by the way, I got a couple bonuses for you. His rushing yards are only 12.5 in this game. You might want to sniff on that too. I can see Baker taking off, trying to save the day on 3rd and 6 with busted coverage. Baker. And Carolina's not known to sack the quarterback a lot, which will go against the rushing yards. So you always got to kind of worry about that with quarterback rushing yards based on what the defense does in terms of how well they rush the passer. But I like Baker. It's Baker time this week in Charlotte. Come on. What do you got, Nick?
Yeah, so we're getting into the nitty-gritty of the season here. And while some teams not necessarily in that playoff hunt, players are playing for incentives here, folks. So if you like props, these are the weeks that you want to look at players to get incentives on whatever it might be. Receptions, yards, touchdowns, whatever. We have value in the prop market when players now are reaching different incentives throughout the season. So let's look at this Patriots and Ravens game. This is a meaningful game here, but I'm going to Stefon Diggs over 3.5 receptions. We are paying a little juice in this one as it sits minus 150. I'm seeing minus 140 out there, but the Patriots just had a great first half against the Bills, but absolutely fumbled the bag, and the Bills ended up winning that game here. But Stefon Diggs, going back to the incentives here, folks, he needs three receptions for a $500,000 bonus. Now we're going right to him in the receptions. I think he has a big week here against the Baltimore Ravens team, who gives up the 6th most receptions to wide receivers here in the National Football League, folks. Drake May and Stefon Diggs on prime time have an absolute game. Take Stefon Diggs over the 3.5 receptions here, Tony.
Well, we don't script this show. We don't talk to each other beforehand. We don't email. That was one of mine. So, but let's go ahead and stay in this game. If New England could take these guys out, that eliminates them having to see these guys in the playoffs.
Yep.
So it's a huge game. Now, New England could still lose it and still going to be in the playoffs regardless, but there's not a lot of pressure on them. But let's go ahead and do a double dip. Trayvon Henderson. His last 5 weeks, 148 yards, 67, 66, 62, 147. His rushing total is 55.5 in this game. You know Vrabel, he wants to run it. He wants to keep Lamar and those weapons, especially Lamar, off the field. So he's going to be running the ball. But I like this over 55.5 sitting at minus 115. As a matter of fact, he's only gone under this total once since October 19th. Just FYI, folks, Trayvon Henderson doing some great things for New England, and I wouldn't discount Lamar. A little bonus, just like I did with Baker. Little bonus for Jackson, 31.5 yards rushing. Josh Allen ran all over him last week. FYI, and believe me, this is a kitchen sink game for the Ravens. For both teams, actually, but the Ravens, they're going to want to make a showing here. So I like that as well. Next up for you, Mr. Menken.
Let's look Saturday. We got the Eagles and the Washington Commanders here. The player I'm going, it's got to be Barkley here. Over 99.5 rushing plus receiving. Now, he has gone over this line in the last 5 times he has played the Washington Commanders. I don't know what it is, a divisional game. Barkley steps up against the Commanders here. When he was with the Giants, well, he did it to the Commanders as well when he was with the Giants. Divisional matchup, he always plays the Commanders good here. Last week, he only had 78 yards on the ground, 14 in the passing game, but they blew out the Las Vegas Raiders in a 31-0 blowout there. This Eagles team needs to feed Barkley, and I believe they do so, whether it's in the run game or the pass game out of the backfield for Hurts. This Washington Commanders defense, well, they allow almost 400 yards, and I keep saying it. We hit Dart last week with the Washington Commanders over 207.5. Well, it's the same thing, but the Eagles are going to rely on the run game here. So I love Barkley over 99.5 rushing plus receiving yards at a minus 110 line, Tony.
Yeah, that Commanders defense. Hard to believe that Dan Quinn's their coach. The way they're playing defense, it's uncharacteristic of any team that Quinn has either been a head coach or even down in Atlanta or when he's been a DC. Unbelievably bad defense there. And the only way Philadelphia went, we talked about this on the show 2-3 weeks ago about Barkley. We said Philadelphia just completely got away from the recipe that got them to win a Super Bowl. Yep. That was pound the rock with Barkley. He's the best running back in the NFL. What are you doing? Guess what? I believe Sirianni, I believe they watch our show. I believe they took our advice, Nick. That's for sure.
They better.
Let's stick with the Saturday game. Side note, your Bears are taking on the Packers. You like that game?
No comment on that one, Tony. We got a top play in that game.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I got a top play on Sunday. 5-0 last week, ladies and gentlemen, in the NFL for this kid right here. On Sunday, 5-play card, 5-0. Thank you. Now let's go ahead and say how bad I suck, because you're only as good as your last pick. And I laid the 1.5 with Seattle on Thursday night. Is taking the money line like a friggin' rookie, and I'm still kicking myself. I thought that was a 3 to 6 point win for Seattle. I wasn't worried about the 1.5. There you go for thinking. But nonetheless, let's talk. Help me with this name. Your running back, Monangai. Over or under 3.5 receiving yards. Play the under. He hasn't had a receiving yard in 5 games. The one thing about throwing the backs out of the backfield, I always worry about running backs receiving yards or receptions when you have a mobile quarterback. Because instead of dumping it off to the running back, they'll take off and run it a lot of the times. And Williams is notorious for that. I'm going to go under 3.5 receiving yards for Menken here, last 4 games in a row, 0. I mean, 6 out of the last 8 games, 0. Now, I know you might see a little bit more of him. I haven't heard Swift, they have listed as questionable because of a groin. Have you heard if he's playing or not?
He's questionable still, but I'm sure he'll be playing here on Saturday.
Yeah, you might want to take a look at him over on his rushing yards, Menken, if Swift is not going to get the bulk of the carries. Because and it was a reasonable number. You know, I would take a look at that as well. That kid can run the rock, no doubt about it, big time. So huge game there for Nick and your buddy Griffin Murphy. Couple Chicago Bears boys, and you got someone. But just like last week, you never know who Nick's going to take. Because last week I pounded the Chargers against my Chiefs, pounded them. I have no loyalty when it comes to a bankroll. Neither does Nick. Just bear that in mind, folks. Nick, your last pick here.
Love it. We think with our brains, Tony, not our hearts, but we're staying in the same. We're staying in the same game, the Packers, Bears, and I have to go to the Chicago Bears tight end here, Colston Loveland, over 3.5 receptions. He's cleared this line the last 2 weeks, and now he's starting to get in the rhythm, into the Ben Johnson, 2 tight ends with Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet got banged up last week with Cleveland there. So without Odunze as well, he is listed and he is out for this week. That's a major implication for your wide receiver position. Odunze's fit great in this system. Now I say he is in Caleb Williams, goes through his tight ends here, and Loveland's been a huge playmaker in this system without Odunze. And last time he played the Packers, well, he had 4 receptions in that one, so I love his over 3.5 receptions on Saturday night, Tony.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's 6 free plays. We're on a 12-4 run. DocSports.com. We give you a free $60. You see the link right above our heads here. There's also a tab on the upper left-hand corner of the website. We'll park $60 in any new account. Comes with a profit guarantee, 0 hassles, 0 obligation. Prop cards are $25. Between Nick and I, we're going to have 7 or 8 props on Sunday between 2 cards. You get them for free. Go to Docs, sign up, and you get a profit guarantee. When you're here for free stuff, there it is, right there. Go there, get it, get hooked up. Been around 53 years for a reason. I'm on a roll in the NFL despite the little setback on Thursday night. 5-1 my last 6. We got plays on Saturday. We got a 7-unit play on Sunday. We'll have a 4-play prop card on Sunday. A couple of props also in each game on Saturday. So you got both games covered plus a totals play I got on Saturday. And Nick, I know you're going to be locked and loaded and ready to go this weekend.
Yep, I'm firing on all cylinders. Like I said, 7-unit on Saturday. We'll have a 3-pack on Sunday with the prop cards. Look for a 2-pack on Saturday. NFL player props as well, Tony.
There you go, folks. Doc Sports. Be there, be square. Thanks for tuning in.